All right, cool. Already set up. Perfect. Aurelia being banned away. Definitely sort of troublesome in the top lane. We've been seeing her played a lot recently. She does well dealing with some of the more popular top lane tank champs like Maokai and sometimes Gnar. Depends on a skill matchup there.
Yeah. I don't know. During solo queue today, I had a Draven on my team that I was supporting. He got one kill early. First backed bot Sword of the Occult. Had it fully stacked by 13 minutes. And had like 500 something AD by the end of the game. He was one hitting tank minions. It was so ridiculous.
You know what's really ridiculous? Doc's fucking Snapchats.
Tatsu, get out of here. We're streaming right now. Anyway, quick mute on him. Annie and Brand being banned away from Pishman. Ziggs being banned away from Rising Dawn. It is the only champion we typically see him play. So definitely strong bans coming out there.
I can't even compose myself. That was legit.
Twitch and Morgana being the final bans. Morgana just being an annoying support to deal with right now. And then Twitch has been seeing a lot of work and putting in a lot of damage. I believe Riva played him last time. And then JC is going to first pick that Lucian. Definitely one of these stronger AD carries right now. Spike insta-locks that Blitzcrank though. Lalawu taking a bit more time to compose his pick. I will let you know how to get into the tournament in just a second.
Are you using the live vVv community one?
Yeah. Rammus being picked up, definitely one of the stronger junglers right now.
Definitely, definitely. Rammus is just so good. His ganks are really good. His taunt legitimately lasts an eternity. So, but Pishman and
Kritoris.
Kotoris look like Alistar Warwick. Warwick, if you get to the late game and he gets those items, it's Star. Not sure how well that goes with Lucian, but definitely very tanky. Once he hits 6 bot lane, can just dive spike over and over again.
Yeah, Alistar's 70% reduction at all levels is really troublesome if you can't get a strong bot lane before level 6. And having a Blitzcrank, once you hit 6, you really can't throw out any hooks because Alistar is too much of a threat to hook in because he's just going to pulverize and headbutt. And
well,
even
I mean,
then,
there are already 2 targets on the other team as a Blitzcrank you don't want to hook. You don't want to hook Warwick and bring him closer to your team, at least later in the game. Early game, it's probably fine.
Once either of them hits 6, you don't want to be hooking them, basically.
Yeah.
And then Alistar we already talked about. And then that Lucian's slippery. He's just going to try and dash out of hook range every time he sees it.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult for Blitzcrank to effectively throw any hooks out. I don't know who's playing it. I don't think Spike is playing it. He might be. But, I mean, if he can hit some pretty good hooks early, he might be able to give his team the advantage. We gotta watch out for that early cheese, though, because those level 1 Blitzcranks, they can actually get a lot of stuff off of an early cheese through use of summoner spells or even kills.
Definitely, especially being purple side. You can run into that dragon pit, throw a ward on into either the tri-bush and or the banana bush and hook someone from there, that's an easy flash / kill if you can do enough damage early on. With that though, Corki being picked up and Rise. Rise took a fairly significant early game nerf, but didn't really touch his late game as much, which is the reason he's here. He is supposed to be a late game monster. Corki gonna hit that strong mid game and gonna try and bully out Lucian.
Although on blue side, Orianna and Maokai being picked up. Orianna really solid mid laner at the moment. Yeah, just a really solid mid laner at the moment. I mean, she's safe. She does a lot of damage, and her team fight is absolutely amazing. And then you also have the ball delivery system with Maokai, who inherently gets
Warwick,
so much ball delivery system on blue side, with a heavy front line and great peel potential. I think puts it in their favor.
Yeah, there's just too many threats already. This Blitzcrank does not want to hook anybody once they hit 6 whatsoever. Because even if you hook the Orianna, she can sombrero shockwave, get as many people as standing by the Blitzcrank, or even Zonius. Like, there's just so many options for this Blitz to get wronged by throwing out a hook that it's not something they want to do.
Yeah, honestly, there are only 2 targets that Blitzcrank really can safely hook, and I put safely in quotations because I mean if you hook Orianna after she's 6, I mean she can just sombrero herself and then Blitzcrank is like totally screwed, and it's already hard enough to hit a hook on Lucian anyway. So
yeah. So, however, the hooks could set up a nice taunt situation. Because Purple Team has a lot of lockdown. They have the taunt, they have the Rune Prison, they have the charm. So if they can land any of that, then they could try and blow up Lucian or Orianna. But with CC being disabled by Alistar ult, he can just ult out of anything they throw at him. I really think this Alistar pick's going to come in huge. And Riva's going to have to be really on point with this Corki to have a chance in this lane. He's going to be fighting it 1v2 for the most point.
That is true. Good point, Kotazu. On the Twitch stream, it says cast by vVv the Doctor and Viva. But
it was a last minute sub in.
It should be vVv the Doctor and vVv Ebola.
It was the last second sub in. So I did not have time to change the said banister, and I believe Viva will be showing up later on. Remember kids, throw out the retweets, get as many people as you can in here to watch this stream and play with us, because it's a fun time. All these players are about to have a lot of fun. And speaking of Viva, he must have had his ears burning because he finally decided to show up.
I gotta work early.
Oh, Viva!
So let's try cast, why not? Let's get this done. So we're actually spectating JC's game, Viva. So when you do get in and ready, that's where we'll be.
The game already start?
It is in the last minute of spectator delay. That being said, Plagues, skins. What do you think we're gonna see?
If I see a Riot Blitzcrank, I may cry because I'm willing to sell my organs to get that skin code.
You didn't, just buy it?
We could see Popstar Ari, who knows what Rise skin. Like, I'm guessing it's probably gonna be Soccer Lucian, because that skin, the auto attack animation is really clean. But I mean, all these champions really have a ton of skins that you can choose from, but
I mean, Bladecraft Orianna is head and shoulders above pretty much anything else. And then I'm thinking we'll see Soccer Maokai, even though Festive Maokai throws presents, and that's just adorable, because who doesn't want to die to presents?
Me.
You don't want to die to presents? I want to
I'd
die to
rather
presents.
live after presents.
True. I don't know about Corki. Corki has a lot of good skins.
if it's Ice Toboggan,
Ice
Corki,
Toboggan
I'll
or get
AFK.
Huh?
If it's Ice Toboggan, I'll eat a shoe on stream.
Oh my god, I would sell my soul for Ice Toboggan. That skin's so good.
I mystery gifted myself that one.
Wow.
Oh my
that's-
god, you lucky.
Viva has amazing luck with the mystery skins.
Alright, so we're in game. No skins on purple team. Unchained Alistar with JC, not impressed because it's free. Hired Gun Lucian, TPA Oriana, and no skin on Malachi.
Very lacking this game. Typically, we don't see this many non-skins.
Yeah, this is basically
Yeah.
two skins in this entire game because I'm
Why are
not
we
counting the
watching this?
Unchained Alistar.
Because JC's kit team is fairly stacked. It's 2 diamonds, a plat, Arctech, and then Fuvi. And these picks are just out of the park. I mean, it's going to be very difficult for Purple Side to win this.
I don't know, Rising Dawn was talking some mad game saying it's gonna be easy peasy.
Really? Because he's not playing Ziggs this time.
I know, Ziggs was banned.
Ziggs was banned away from him.
I wonder why.
Because it's how he
Probably 'cause
plays.
he only plays Ziggs mid.
No, he did pick the Ari, so that's gonna
Ari's
be
a very
interesting.
strong laner.
Yeah, if all else fail, for all mid laners out there, if you don't know what to do, Ahri's always a safe choice.
Ari and Syndra. It's kind of hard to
Syndra.
lose on those champs.
Yeah, Cinder's very strong. I mean, that,
Unless it's me, where you just feed out, where you feed a Syndra and then end up still winning the game somehow.
by playing with diamonds.
No, you just sit in the back, you pop out a stun once in a while, and you watch your team win a fight.
Yeah,
Maybe throw an ult out.
Syndra is easy mode. Ari, not so much. Ari has a lot of skill shots. So we'll see how Rising Dawn can come up with this champion, considering that his other champion was banned away. That being said, into game. Gonna wait a couple seconds for the spectator delay to catch up.
Pishman, oh my god. He's got the mastery of the shield, which I think is completely useless.
If he's going
It's-
0-30-0, he doesn't have much of a choice, but that's an odd
I don't
build.
see a Warwick jungle going 0-30-0.
I only run that on my Mundo jungle.
Well, you kind of needed his Mundo, though, because you're so squishy. Oh, it wouldn't be an ADL without a pause, would it?
I believe Arctech has crashed.
The
Yeah.
Alt-Tab Dream is alive.
They patched that!
I don't know, dude. I got DC'd from a game earlier today because I alt-tabbed. But apparently, if you just, for all you people out there watching, if you do alt-tab, do not restart your client because it'll still put you in-game. Your screen is just black until you
Yes.
actually get in-game.
Very true. Red team
Do
throwing
not
down.
alt-tab. It
Re-
screws you. Just don't do it. Don't check Reddit. Check Reddit before or in champ select.
Or during game when you're walking to lane.
Or during game after you either are stomping them or it's completely lost and you're already AFK in spawn.
Or when you're running back to lane.
Even then, I've seen some cheese happen.
Yeah,
As we
that
see
can happen.
Blitzcrank getting the early deep ward down on.
He was running along a ward in that banana bush, so they do know he put that ward down.
And it's really interesting, Spike took Smite on support Blitzcrank.
He does. That's typical of Spike Blitzcrank. He always runs that smite. He goes for those surprise hooks. Hyper aggressive. It's
Not also to mention, it's probably going to be pretty good for objective control. Having two
Yes.
Smites on your team is going to be really hard for Blue to, unless
Unless they
team's
just kill 'em
completely
all.
dead, but
yeah, unless Blue Team, sombrero or shockwaves everybody and kills them. That being said, one tree down. Rise just sort of laughing at their efforts. Another bomb gonna land onto Rise, and now they're just trading auto attacks.
Rise is taking a lot of damage here.
This could be very bad. He might have to burn Flash. However, walking into the bush, Ryva and Spike both getting pulverized. Foster Spawn going to come out, but still lots of damage onto
Phantom
Ryva.
Bullet was forced to burn
JC
Flash.
flashes, but the Ignite comes down onto Ryva. Gonna flash away, and he's gonna survive with 15 health.
Lots of summoners down already. We have Corky, Heal Flash. We have Rise, Flash.
Flash
we
from
have
Lucian.
Flash, however, and JC's Ignite. All in all, I think blue team actually made out on the summoners. As red team did.
Lucian is also going to get a very large experience advantage in this bot lane above Corki. He's already 6 minions to 0. That's going to start adding up very quickly in this aggressive bot lane. No need to go for that quick level 2. They're going to get up before Spike and Ryva anyway. JC showing that minion who's boss with a nice pulverize.
Like we've known JC to be a very mechanically good player, and I've actually never seen him play Alistar before.
Yes, we have multiple video proof of his mechanical display as seen on Lee Sin. It's time and time again, head and shoulders above Wood 5.
Like, to me, it's just interesting to see, because I mean, he plays jungle and he plays support champions, but his support champions, I've never seen him play Alistar before.
Yes.
So it's going to be really interesting to see if he has those headbutt pulverize mechanics. Because it's really easy to mess up that combo.
Oh, yeah, because the way you just walk towards the enemy, because you cast it outside of range, and then you just hit Q quickly, it's very difficult to get it 100% of the time. CS leads, opening up everywhere. Rise is already being forced to back against Maokai.
I was going to say he had a CS advantage, but with that wave there, Art Tech on Maokai should take the minion advantage. Although, Phantom just going to TP back into lane.
Rammus keeps thinking he wants to be in this bot lane, but he can't decide. He just keeps running back and forth. JC and Spike just sharing some laughs. But JC's doing an extremely good job of zoning out this bot lane.
Rise just got back to lane not more than 10 seconds ago, and he's already below half HP again.
However, he still has potions of both kind. A good headbutt pull onto Ryva. No real damage going to come out. However, hook lands onto Kratoris. Ryva doesn't want to be in there.
Ooh, the Q just misses.
Piercing Light did miss. And there's the smite from Spike.
Gotta get that CS.
A nice headbutt
Nice
into another
double
pulverize.
by JC.
The pulverize was a bit odd though, because the Valkyrie came out.
I think if the Valkyrie animation hadn't gone off there and Corky was still in the same spot, that probably would have been a kill. But lucky for Ryva, he got the animation off and was stunned a little bit farther away. Another great combo by JC.
A nice
We're really
headbutt
seeing
pull.
it today.
A power fist onto Kratoris, but the heal keeps him alive again. This time with less than 5 HP.
I think he survived with that 3 HP dream.
He should definitely play ranked after this.
Phantom Bolt, meanwhile, top lane, is out of mana, but hits level 6 before Art Tech does. Really not going to do anything for him, though, considering the wave is pushed in into Arctech, so Arctech should be able to just CS at ease.
A nice twisted advance onto Phantom Bullet, who's out of mana. Forced to flash again. Arctech not going to flash and follow.
Not sure why he hasn't beat back yet.
He's still sitting on 3 potions. He could be considering wanting to sort of stay in the lane. But Arctech's
But
bringing out
even
a
if he
lot of
pops-
damage.
Oh, great charm by Ari there. But like, even if he does pop both those potions...
Power Fist hook onto JC, but he's just going to headbutt Pulve onto Riva. Kratoris dashing in, going to dodge out the Phosphorus Bomb, forcing Corki below half health once again.
Doctor, where do you think the first blood's gonna be? Because we're 8 minutes in, and we haven't seen someone die yet. Riva's come close twice to die.
Twice, yes.
Surviving combined total still under 10 HP both times.
Warwick has hit 6 and is heading sort of towards that bot lane, but he's just running over wards all day.
Yeah, Lawu putting out some great vision.
If I were this Warwick, I would want to be up in this top lane on top of this Ryze, who's just not respecting the Maokai damage right now. I mean, we see
Arctech
here
going pretty hard.
Arctech putting down
This
lots
should
of
be
damage on
usually
the
first
Phantom
blood
Bullet.
here.
He pops his ultimate, but does he have more? He lands the pulverize, not pulverize, the other one, and picks up the kill.
The Maokai
Crushing.
pulverize.
Arcane Smash. There was some sort of
Raven
crushing.
is way too scared right now. He's almost died twice, and now he just doesn't want anything to do with the bot lane.
He hasn't even hit 6, while JC and Kratoris have both hit 6. And now with Pishman coming in, this could be a tower dive. However, JC once again missing his combo.
Ooh, little misplay by Rising. He misses his Ari combo of the Charm Q, and then ulted
ults, yeah.
afterwards.
Little
Oops.
misplay there, and that gives the Ari
Although
the
that was
opportunity
a-
A nice ultimate from Warwick. The
Oh,
flash is going to
He
miss the
flashes
shockwave.
the ult. That was good.
The culling going to come out. Lalalu taunts up Pishman, but that's not quite what he wants. However, the charm lands onto Orianna, going to go down there. But now it's Rising Dawn versus a double buff Pishman.
Yeah, I think Rising should cut his losses there, probably back, and then just buy some items.
However, the ultimate's down. He can try and force this wave, but Warwick's going to have the Hunter's Call.
He should definitely not stay. Everyone underestimates
Hook
the
onto
power Warwick
JC.
has.
Silence going to come out, pops the ultimate, and heal from Kratoris. A bit of a miscommunication there. And we see Ari did decide to shove that wave into the mid tower.
Although,
she has to
kind
decide whether-
Pishman, Rising, no, his ult is up in 10 seconds.
Now, Rising Dawn has to decide whether he wants to back now, or if he's gonna stay since Orianna's shown up.
Looks like he's decided to stay. Not sure if this is the right call, although Rammus is close by, so in case there is a gank. But Warwick ganks are basically 100% guaranteed if he can get within range of ulting you.
A
So.
good combination of spells from Arctech. Ultimate from Fishman, gonna lock up Ryze, and that's a guaranteed kill for Arctech, as we were just talking about.
And there's definitely not
Arctech
what you
is
want.
doing work in lane. He is down a little bit in CS, 2 CS at the moment, but is up 2 kills on Ryze.
And
that's
he's
definitely not what you want when you're Ryze, because if you're gonna be scaling really good into late game, you can't be falling way behind where you're not even gonna get there yourself.
Hook gonna hit a minion. And one of the problems with this Ryze pick is that Maokai can scale just as well and do kind of the same thing. He can put out a good amount of damage and never die. Whereas his ultimate's just going to give his team a huge stat boost overall.
I remember the days when Malachi was a garbage champion.
I remember the days of the general when he was the best jungle champion.
And then was nerfed to hell and then got reworked.
Yeah, and then was useless for about a year and a half. Yeah.
Looks like Blitzcrank is roaming mid.
Yeah.
Not sure if Spike's gonna be able to get anything out of this.
He has to land a hook. He's going for the power fist, lands that, hooks him back, but Lalawu wasn't quite paying attention. Silence gonna come out and the taunt, but he's safe under tower for now. Didn't burn anything. Barrier, flash, or even the shockwave.
Yeah, I mean, the red team didn't have any coordination there when they were trying to kill Ori, so they just kind of threw out their CC and weren't together with it, so she didn't even have to do anything.
Lucian has his BF Sword pickaxe, and Koki's stuck on a Sheen. Not quite the best first item buy you want in this very aggressive lane.
Some good damage down to Arctech.
With the amount of spells that are being thrown up by Rise, I'm sure he'll be back up to health in no time. Ooh. A headbutt onto Ryva, and the Pulver is coming out after it. Silence going to land on both of them. Ultimate coming out from JC. The Culling going to come out. Heal, not enough to save him. That's one kill going to go down. Flash dodges the Piercing Light, and now Rammus and Arya both here. Arya gets headbutted away, but just going to dash back in again. However, Kratoris picks up the kill onto Ryva anyway, and now that Rising Dawn's out of ult charges, it's up to Lalawu to catch on the cow.
If they chase that though, they can easily turn that around.
The ball
Or
comes
he'll
down,
flash away.
and he flashes over the wall. I felt that was a very turnable fight.
Yeah, definitely, especially with the Orianna ult up and the Warwick ult up. That was a very dead Ahri if they wanted to go in on that.
Lalawu finds Pishman, throws out his taunt, Charm gonna land, and Ignite gonna come down. The teleports from both top lane is coming out though. That onto Pishman, and now Arctec's not where he wants to be. Lands a slow onto two people, but doesn't even know where to go. The hook's gonna pull him back in, and he's gonna go down maybe? And he goes down to Phantom Bolt's auto attack at the last second, saving Lalawu's life.
Yeah, he should have cancelled it when he saw all of red team was there and the red teleport was going in. He should have just backed out.
Spike wants this pink ward, however, he's just gonna laugh as he loses his green ward. Headbutt Pulve, not gonna land. A good charm onto Fuvi.
Fuvi.
Oh, being thrown out by Spike, now that's a good 30 seconds where he's not going to be able to try and stop that unstoppable force from coming out. Unbreakable will is what I meant.
Was like Malphite?
I mean, you wouldn't want a Malphite ult in here anyway. That would be also bad.
Especially when he's not even in the team.
Problem solved. Up in this top lane, both champions almost dead even on the farm.
If by almost you mean R, then yeah.
Yes. However, Maokai has already finished his Rod of the Ages, whereas Rise doesn't even have a blasting wand yet. Ryva does a Valkyrie over the wall very aggressively.
Looks like we're gonna start seeing some fights over Baron. The Colin comes out though. That doesn't really do anything.
A hook onto Kratoris gets blown up almost immediately. Still alive though. However, he's still in a position to fight. A good 3-man shockwave and a distortion gonna come out. Flash from Lalawu and Valkyrie from Ryva. Can they continue chasing this though?
I just noticed now it's a very CLG blue team there with the Orianna Alistar.
Yes. No rush hour though. Pink ward gonna come out, clear out that green ward, and that's gonna be Dragon.
Yeah, definitely. And you always have to fear that Orianna ult when you're clustered up like that.
Ari picks up that mid tower. And yeah, definitely in tight corners like that, you really don't want to get shockwaves. That was a very turning moment in that fight.
And she did a lot of damage too, and even though she hasn't picked up any kills in the early game, just that presence of that ultimate alone is enough to turn it, as we just saw.
And Arctic's very close to finishing this top tower. And Rise deciding to go boots over the Rod of Ages is kind of confusing to me. I mean, you want to get that stacking as early as possible, and he basically spent 1,500 gold in the exact opposite direction by building Spell Pen boots with Home Guard.
My guess is that he was afraid that he'd fall behind from dying twice, so he wanted to get into the lane quicker, but he just kind of put himself in the back burner anyways.
Yeah, kind of in a worse position. And Kritoris is actually opening up a huge CS advantage here. 150 to 100. That is just absurd. I mean, with Corki only having died that one time, but being forced out of lane at least 3 to 4 others, it's really starting to add up.
And that's the power of what a really good support will do for you.
A charm lands onto Arctech, Ignite and the Rune Prison are going to come out, pops the ultimate, wants to try and kill Phantom Bullet, not quite enough damage, and the kill is going to go to Phantom Bullet. For starting off 0-2, he's starting to really pull it back, hitting 3-2. Sitting on 800 gold, he's going to be able to finish that Rod of Ages now, too.
Rising Dawn is doing a lot better than I originally thought he was going to. I'll give him that one.
Ari, once you can land a skill shot, becomes a fairly easy champion. You know what she's going to do, you know why she's there, and it's all a matter of just doing it. Dash coming out from Katoris and the silence, but he gets the tower. One auto attack, gonna go over to Riva. Vanderbilt teleported down with those home guard boots and did something. I believe he auto attacked once.
I would say that was actually worth for getting the teleport out to get a tower also.
And because
forcing the enemy team teleport, way worth.
And red team doesn't quite have the damage to clear this tower, I don't think. Especially with Pishman showing up. Spike could be going down here. Talisman being popped. Ultimate down onto Spike. He's gonna try and flash, but he dies too quickly. And Maokai in this top lane needs to be shoving a lot quicker. He needs to get this tower down.
Yeah, we understand that he's a tree and it's hard, but he really needs to pick it up.
And Phantom Bullet using his teleport, getting an assist and a pink ward for losing top lane tower. Not quite worth it.
Alright, I'm back, guys. What happened while I'm gone?
Not much. I mean, we saw top tower go down just now to Arctech, and then bottom tower went down to Kritoris after picking up a kill. The Culling's going to come out, force out the Spirit Rush. Only gets him to about half health, though.
Yeah, we just had an unfortunate rage quit in a game, so...
That is not the norm, however, it is very sad to see.
See, Rising picked up some kills while I was gone.
Yeah,
Had
Precisely
some pretty
one.
good charms this game so far. We'll see if he can continue it.
there's lots of pressure on this mid lane tower. Let's see if Spike can do something or if ball delivery will be where it's at. Bot tower starting to go dangerously low, and only Pishman's in the area to respond. Tower goes down. Pishman thinking about trying to go onto him. Lots of damage coming out of Riva, but the sustain from Pishman is just too much. Gonna go down to the red buff burn.
That is the scariness of Pishman's build right now. Feral Flare, Wits End. Warwicks are going to be sitting there auto-attacking you for so much damage, and you really can't counteract really the sustain that he has, so...
A good headbutt onto Phantom Bullet with a two-man pulverize. throws out the ultimate, he gets hooked into a tower. Two-man Shockwave going to come out. However, Kratos gets locked up by the Rune Prison. However, he turns it around and puts the kills onto Phantom Bullet. A 1-for-0 trade with only JC and Kratos going super duper low. Now that Pishman's here, they could force down this tower.
Wow, unfortunate Rising did not hit the follow-up charm on JC because that would have been a dead cow.
Culling coming out and putting tons of damage onto Rising.
Go
Pishman
hard.
flashes in,
Flash
throws down the
ulti.
ultimate. However, the Hungering Strike picks up the kill. Not enough to save him though. Kratos gonna go down 2 towers for not killing Wallawu. A quick double kill over to Riva.
Yeah, if you have the chance to flash into a tower and try to kill Aramis, you don't do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ramus.
that play was pretty questionable. I mean, they just gave Corki 2 free kills basically, at the cost of Rising's life. But it's Rising, so I think that's pretty worth.
Yeah. Now sitting on about 1,400 gold. He did decide to go those spell pen boots also.
Although this is the point in the game where Ramus as well starts becoming really hard to kill. He starts getting those items. Looks like he's going for Sunfire at the moment. Already has Ancient Golem and Mobies with the Home Guard, so he can just zoom around the map. Looks like Pishman's going to be going for the Spirit Visage, so he can be even more unkillable than he already is.
A good headbutt, but he doesn't quite steal it. Taunt lands on a JC, throws out the Unbreakable Will, and breaks the taunt. I'm wondering if Corki's going to pick up an Executioner's Calling, at least for the Warwick. Because other than that, he's basically unkillable, especially with Ari deciding to go the Athenes and Holy Grail over the Merlinomicon.
Vivo, where is Rising Dawn's DFG?
I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, I understand where his build path is, but he has pretty good execute options, and he would do a lot of damage to, like, the 3 tanks on their team with a DFG.
I think it's actually kind of necessary to get through that tank line. I mean, who's really going to get through their tank line on their team? They really don't have a lot of...
Yeah, ideally as Ari, you
from-
don't want to, DFG a tank, but you don't really have a
Phantom
choice against
Bullet
this.
wants to go onto Kratos, flashes the wall to land all the abilities. Auto attack and an Overlord gonna go out. Spike didn't want to steal it, so he didn't even get an assist.
I don't know, I'd say Spike didn't want to steal it.
I mean, he very clearly could have
I
stolen
just find
it.
it really easy to take kills. I mean,
Even
like when you're not trying.
he had the move speed to just walk up and ult. He very clearly could have taken that.
Rising, however, or not Rising, Pishman finished his Spirit Visage, so...
Arctech finds some people on his team. Hook's not gonna land though. And he's just gonna walk away from that one.
Have we seen any really good Oriolts while I was gone?
A few. There was a nice
Aw.
3-man. There was a 2-man in the mid lane, which we just came back for.
Yeah, I saw that one, but there was a 3-man? Aw.
Yeah, right by Tribush. Lots of
I'm
damage
kinda
on a JC.
sad.
Phantom Bullet, though, gets a little caught out. Ultimate from Fishman going to come down. Pulverize, too. And one more auto attack's going to give that over to Pishman, whose Feral stacks are really starting to get out of control now. Already sitting at 21. And they're going to try and rush down this Baron.
With this team comp, they can just blow through Baron. They do not know, however, that it is awarded on the bag, so Red Team is aware that they are trying to do this right now.
Wallawu gets knocked up, trying to get a good taunt down, lands it onto Kratos. Heal gonna come out, the ultimate and charm onto Pishman, gonna lock him down really quick. Spirit Rush gonna try and keep him one lane while Spike's 1v1ing Kratos in the bot lane. Wallawu going super low, charm lands onto JC, but now Rising Dawn's in the middle of the fight. Heal's gonna come out from Riva to keep Rising Dawn alive a little bit longer. Foster Realm gonna pick up the kill onto Kratos, and Wallawu's gonna auto attack the tree to death.
I believe that is the definition of a Baron throw.
That was a Baron throw.
I find it weird that Critis didn't go immediately onto Riva when Riva was in the death brush there, because they had a ward in it and he kind of ran by Riva before he was like, maybe I should try to kill Corki.
Very split focus there. You see that Raiva and Lalawu. Lalawu was very tanky, so he obviously should have survived that. But the amount of time that Rising Dawn lived for how not tanky he is a bit absurd. He was alive for 90% of that fight.
That is true, and I'm actually seeing right now that Orianna still has her ult up.
Yeah, Orianna just completely nuked out in that
She
fight.
got gibbed before she was able to get her ult off, which is really unfortunate because we all know that Oriol, especially around Baron Pit, and that
They're going
closed,
right back
confined area
for
where
it.
people funnel in can really be game changing.
They're going right back for this Baron.
Pishman
Corky's
says,
in the
"Hey,
bot
we
lane.
didn't get it round one. Why not
Phantom
round
Bullet gets headbutted into the Baron Pit and gets completely nuked out by that Orianna Warwick combo. Taunt lands onto JC, not who you wanted. Charm also lands, but now Lalawu's in the middle of 5 members basically. Headbutted away. Flash Smite, not enough from Spike, and now he's in the middle of a pit with Pishman and Kratorius. Gotta go down there.
Oh!
Ultimate over the wall onto Rising Dawn. Forced to flash and Spirit Rush away. However, I think he's still gonna go down.
How many flashes do these teams have?
A lot. Pishman gets taunted up by Lalawu. Raiva's putting out lots of damage now that he has this Triforce Infinity Edge. A one-man shockwave.
Artec getting hit by the charm. Doesn't look like he's gonna get killed or get anything from it. Overall, I think that was what Blue was planning on doing last time they tried to get Baron.
A 1-for-0 and the Baron. Very lucrative, and they could pick up this tower, but Raiva and Phantom Bullet are going to have a lot of wave clear on their 2 champions, so that tower's safe for now. Teleport to the top lane to keep that tower alive.
Yeah, this is the point in the game where, as Red Team, you gotta be really worried, because Blitzcrank cannot hook Malachi, he cannot hook Alistar, he cannot hook Warwick, and it's very sketchy if he hooks Orianna. Because all 3 of those people are just dealing... Ori's dealing insane amounts of damage right now with her hat. She has Grail, and she's already got another needlessly large rod, I'm assuming for Zonia's.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna be for Zonia's. Why would
So,
Ori
I mean,
build?
she could just sombrero...
DFG Ori. Heard it here, folks.
TFG Ori Idka, I don't think we're gonna see it today.
That one-man shockwave suddenly becomes 100-0.
But Pishman is so tanky right now, you do not want to hook him. Same with Art Tech. Art Tech is huge with Spirit Visage, Rod of Ages, and a Chain Vest.
No armor on Pishman because there's not really an AD threat. Charm, Ignite onto Arctech. Taunt not from Lalawu. However, Spike gets found out in the jungle. Ultimate from Pishman is going to lock him down. He's going to get completely blown up. Riva's just going to Valkyrie away. Meanwhile, they couldn't even get the tree to half health with the amount of spells they burned.
And then they're just going to get a free dragon
why
off
the
it.
Ares needs the DFG this game.
I'm really thinking Rising needs that DFG right now.
I still say, at this point, maybe even sell the Athene's Unholy Grail for the Morel and Omicron. Because between the Maokai heal and the Warwick, that Grievous Wounds passive is going to come in huge.
I just don't see Red Team getting through these tanks very easy without burning almost. Have Lucian and Orianna you have to worry about. I mean, at this point, who on their team is going to be able to kill Warwick and Malachi in a team fight?
Culling coming out, not really hitting anybody, clears out the first 2 minions of the next wave, though.
The epic wall ward wars.
Spike just wants to land a hook, but he also doesn't want to land that hook. That's a bit sketchy even under tower. Blue team all sitting on a fair amount of gold apiece. I mean, Warwick 3k, Maokai 2k, Lucian just spent 2k. I mean, they just picked up huge items that they can now take into consideration.
Yep. Art Tech picking up that Sunfire cape, so he's got that extreme armor item, and he's already got the Spirit Visage completed. So I honestly don't see him dying unless he like twisting advances underneath the enemy tower and gets charmed or something like that, and while the entire other team is there.
And Lucian picked up a Last Whisper, and Corki doesn't even have the components for it. Lucian's going to be able to cut through the Rise and the Rammus fairly well from now here on out, and Corki's going to be having increasing issues onto killing the tank line. I mean, yes, GC goes down to half health, but that was a charm. Ruin Prison lands a good two-man Pulverize. The headbutt doesn't quite go where he wants it. Lots of damage still coming out, though. No charm, however, the back half of the Orbit Deception going to pick that up. Pishman now 1v2ing in the bot half of the jungle, picking up the Corki.
Rise flashes in the middle of the lane.
Wanted to get to the Warwick quicker.
Pishman is absolutely enormous right now. He's got Blade of the Ruin King as well. I don't think there's any way we're going to see him die another time in this game.
Unless he
He's
goes
got
ham
so much-
bologna sauce and goes in on an Ari under tower again.
Even
That
then,
would
he
be the
has
only
so
way,
much
I
life
believe.
steal.
I think that's the only way him and Art Tech at this point can die in the game.
I mean, looking at the items that Corki needs to pick up in the next 5 seconds to even have a chance to win this game, he needs a Last Whisper to cut through the armor that's starting to build up, and he needs a QSS to get out of the suppression. Both of which he's extremely far away from, having only 950 gold sitting in his bank account.
I mean, not to discount, red team can still win this. It's just going to be really hard. They're going to need a throw like blue team did at Baron before to really get back in this game, get them some gold, get them some items that they need.
And Baron's up in 50 seconds. That will decide the game, I have a feeling. Red team's either going to ace blue team, pick up a Baron and maybe a tower and an inhib, or blue team's just too far ahead at this point, having an almost 10k gold lead that they're just going to clean up, get the Baron, and push on to win. Both teams clearing out some wards, getting ready for this Baron, who is now up in 15 seconds. And with Maokai just patrolling the outside of that pit, they're going to know when someone gets there. Spike fail warding over the wall.
Awesome Scar award.
The ultimate from Pishman, headbutt pulverized from JC's, gonna kill Spike, who has a circle blitzcrank icon as opposed to everybody else's squares.
All the new splash arts actually have circles.
How very confusing. Charm lands onto JC, and both parts of the Orbit Deception just gonna heal that up though. And they're completely zoning everybody away.
Phantom may be in trouble here.
Fend Bullet getting headbutted, pulverized, twisted advanced, and called down. Not gonna live much longer. JC pops the ultimate, misses the pulverize. But the tower did go down. Charm lands the Arctech, not who you want to charm though. He's so tanky. And blue team now can walk out, sweep some boys out, and pick up an easy Baron. However, both smites are now alive for red team. The chance for a steal if
This
they can
Baron's going
coordinate
down
it,
really quick though with that Warwick Blade of the Ruin King.
and the Infinity Edge static shift. Spike has the opportunity, doesn't quite get the smite too early. Lalu wasn't in a chance to get in. Two-man shockwave onto Riva, and Lalu. Ultimate from Pishman lands onto Rising Dawn. Why can't I think of names?
They give Spike mercy.
They give Spike the pink board. Nothing he can do. However, Kratoris wants the Corki. Also gives up on the Corki, though. They're going to push this mid lane.
If only Lucian had just that much more movement speed to catch up. Cough, cough, Ghostblade.
Yes, I love the Ghostblade build. However, still just sitting on that Vamp Scepter. No real need to finish it up.
This is looking very bleak for Red Team. I don't know if they're going to be able to come back from this one.
With 10 seconds on Lalawu and Rising Dawn, they see it's in their best interest to not try and force the issue.
It looks like they're just going to go Dragon, probably take blue buff at the same time. Continue climbing that gold lead, and it won't surprise me if they just backed, bought items, went mid, and ended the game.
Kratoris taking that blue buff away from his mid laner, kind of BM, but they get the dragon. And in repentance for stealing away the blue buff, he's going to give Orianna all that bot lane farm. vVv actually managed to catch up in CS. At one point, he was down 50 plus CS, and now he's actually ahead by 9.
Yeah, with the item components he's building, he's going for that Bloodthirster, but he still needs that last Whisper to get through these tanks.
And there's no Mikhails, because Mikhails doesn't cleanse suppression anyway, so that would be kind of pointless on the Blitzcrank. And there's no QSS on anybody. Ari needs it because she's getting ulted up and blown up. Corki needs it because he's going to get ulted and blown up. Hell, even Ryze could do one because he's getting completely deleted when he gets ulted by the Warwick.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna add in. As far as the Corgi build goes, he can do all the damage he wants, but his team is dying like flies around him, so he can't even stay in to do damage.
Looks like we have a completed build from Pishman, and he gets the frozen. Once Warwick gets on top of you, there is no hope of you getting away from it.
Charm lands onto JC, throws out the ultimate, but not after he gets taunted. Lots of damage coming down. He's still only in half health. Culling puts on lots of damage. Rising Dawn gets caught by the Twisted Advance. Hook lands onto vVv, but Pishman's gonna lock him down and just kill him up. Kratoris picking up 1 kill. Ultimate onto Rising Dawn. That kill's gonna get out. JC flashes over the wall. Blade of the Ruin King onto Phantom Bullet. Headbutt Pulverize knocks him in. And then Flash still, but Fishman wants this. Twisted Advance onto Rise. Gonna pick up that kill for Arctech. For Pishman.
I believe this is game here.
3 for none with only Alistar really low. They could try to get all 3 in here. Twisted Advance onto Riva though. Headbutt, Pulverize, Ignite comes out too. Still alive, gonna live through that one once again. Lalawu not quite as lucky. Riva trying to pick up 1 kill. Does. Kills Kratoris on the Lucian. But Pishman and JC putting in work on these towers.
Yep, that's going to be game. GG's to everyone. Blue team going to come out on top.
Fuva using Barrier, Orianna Shield, and just barely staying alive from the Corki. However, that is GG. Very well played by Blue team. And that was kind of how we called it, actually. With the amount of CC and ball delivery that they had, it was going to be very difficult for Red Team to sort of pull that through.
And they made it more difficult on themselves because they didn't build any items to deal with it.
Yeah,
I thought they had a chance after the Baron throw by Blue side, but then Blue came back and just took Baron. So
yeah,
that was kind of the dream being crushed in front of our eyes.
Dream was dead. No armor pen from the Corki. No QSS on anybody to stop that Warwick ult. Suppression very clearly a kind of broken mechanic. I mean, with only 1 item in the entire game being able to remove it, talk about no counterplay.
But
Yep,
that's
the later
counterplay in
it
itself.
gets,
You need to have that item if you're a carry. You can't just build your regular build and expect yourself to live through fights with a Warwick on the enemy team.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
the later the game got, Blue team just scaled so much harder than Red side that Red really needed to end it early, and they were behind almost all game, so it was really impossible for them to do it.
yeah, I mean, it was like Maokai got those 2 early kills and started from there. Yes, he started dying to ganks, and Ryze got going a little bit, but Ryze getting his Rod of Ages at least a good 5 to 7 minutes after Maokai, that's a lot of stats he lost out on by going for that Spell Pen Home Guard boots so early. And I mean, looking at the gold chart, blue just ran away with it, picking up towers, barons, dragons, and just looking at it, there was very little comeback potential.
All right, guys, it was great casting with you. Guess I'm gonna go get some feedback.
Sounds good. Thank you, Plague, for filling in for Viva while he was at work. And with
No problem. You guys have a great rest of the